You know what? This show is now presented by Apple AirPods. So small, it fits in your ears. Wow.
Whoa, so small. It's
Core.
almost like it's stuck in your ears.
Core. It keeps you cool to the core.
To
This
the
is
core. To the core.
all right. So, if in case anybody doesn't know, we're actually doing best and worst product placements in films. And now, guess what? Now you get to choose if this was actually the worst product placement that you ever heard on my podcast. So, therefore, you get to vote and tell me what you think about my not so good product placement presented by The Witcher. Because you always have to give a coin to your Witcher. Okay, so anyways, um,
You
so
did it anyways. My brain is going to
now
fire.
available on PS4. So, anyways, what we're gonna do is we're gonna break down certain movies that we feel like that we remember from our past, even present, when it comes down to product placement. Some product placement was good in movies. Sometimes it didn't even hit. Sometimes it will take you out of the movie by having too much product placement. Space Jam 2. But,
Yeah.
and here's the thing, when it comes down to product placement, it can take you out of the movie. Sometimes it's there to distract you from the mess of a movie that is actually is.
Yep.
Perfect example, Space Jam 2. Because it was oversaturated with cameos from other movies, other film products and stuff like that, to out of the Warner Brothers properties and things like that. You have the Clockwork Orange, you have Pennywise, you had The Mask, you have pretty much R-rated characters, even Game of Thrones, which is rated MA for mature
Yeah.
audiences,
Yeah,
and
the kids
a
don't be watch
PG-13
that
world.
now. They'll be like,
Right.
you can't watch it. And they'll be like, then why did it show it to us?
Right. These are all the things that you can't have, kids, because guess what? You can't see boobies until you're at least 16. But I
You
want
can
to
have
watch that
Pokemon
one.
doll.
But yeah. But anyways, one of the movies that's on my list and everything that I want to really talk about. That's probably one of the worst product placements that I've seen in a movie, aside from Space Jam 2, is the movie Jack and Jill, which has about Adam Sandler's twin sister coming to visit him, and he picks her up from the airport, and then pretty much Jill is just one of those people that is just clumsy and stuff like that. Jack just can't stand his sister Jill. Well, anyways, I don't know what Al Pacino was thinking, other than the fact that he gets paid to be an actor and do this job that they want him to do. But they thought it was a good idea to put him in a Dunkin' Donuts commercial, and also name it Dunkachino. Wow, you know. But that was probably the worst Al Pacino impression that I've done in a while. So,
Yeah.
but what did you think of that product placement? If you remember that product placement at all?
I remember that product placement clearly. And and I and I certainly do believe that Pacino was like blackmailed into that.
I felt bad for that dude, though.
I
I
think he
mean, I
was
felt
blackmailed in it to play in that movie so bad. I think Adam Sandler like like hiding in his shower room or something, just plays cameras to see what he does.
right. You know what, Al? Go on ahead. Say Dunkachino. Dunkachino.
Mm,
There you
I
go.
ain't
Now
changed.
do and
No, stop
hooah,
it.
hooah. Yeah.
No,
There you go. Hooah.
I would destroy you.
Right. But I felt like that was like probably the worst thing about the product placement in Jack and Jill, because I feel like Jack and Jill wasn't that good of a film despite the product placement and everything else. But that movie just sucked. I'm just going to be honest with you. But now there's also going to be another thing that I want to mention too, as far as bad. Um, there's also another thing when it comes down to worst product placement. You also have the movie Castaway with Tom Hanks. Now, do you remember any of the product placement that was actually in that movie?
I remember a little bit,
Hey, Brandy.
just a little bit of product placement, but I wasn't like I wasn't so so I really don't really notice the product placement because I'm always concentrated on the story because Tom Hanks is he's a very good actor, and
Right.
product placements don't really bother me because there was just part of the background most of the part.
Most of the time they are part of the background, like you mentioned, but sometimes it's so noticeable that it sticks out like a sore thumb.
Oh, you
And
talking
we're
about
going to get
the
into one of the worst ones, which is on your right hand side, that we're going to get into a few minutes on worst ever product placement in a movie that's based off of a animated show, and that
what's it?
is the
What's the product
Transformers.
placement?
We're going to talk about that catastrophe. We're going to talk about that because. But yes, the Wilson soccer ball, like Brandy said, is part of the product placement. But we also had the FedEx
Yeah, FedEx.
product placement because that's where Tom Hanks actually works for is FedEx. And then you also have this kid that's running across Russia to and everything. I feel bad for the kid. He's running across Russia to try and figure out how long it takes them to deliver a package. And so he takes his FedEx package all the way to the FedEx company, and he gets a Walkman as a prize.
Dang.
And he gets a Sony CD player as a prize.
I'd be asking for a raise.
Right? Tom Hanks is a douche. 1 star, worst day ever working for FedEx.
Yeah, there was a product placement for the for those ice skating shoes. I forgot about that.
Yep. And there is now, Brandy's right. One of the best ones is in Back to the Future, which we're
Yes.
going to get to in a few minutes. But yeah, they did a product placement for Pepsi as well, and also Reebok with Reebok shoes and stuff like that, where the futuristic shoes tie its own self and things like that. That was actually a pretty cool product placement as well. And then, yeah, what's up?
Don't forget the product placements in the Super Mario Brothers.
Oh God, I don't even remember that. I think I got Men in Blacked on that one.
I can't
remember?
I can't really remember, but I sort of remember there was a product placement. I can't remember what it was, and it was dumb.
You see, I don't remember that. I do not remember a product placement in that, but I'm glad you remember that, even though you don't remember exactly what it is. But
unless I think of something else, and if the Super Mario Brothers just popped in instead.
But also, too, another thing that I would have to say is this though too that I remember is You Got Mail with Tom Hanks. This is also another example of bad, of having bad product placement because it was the introduction to AOL. It was also the introduction to email, which email was the biggest thing back in the day with AOL, and also to how many people that you can actually have in your buddy list and everything too.
Yeah, it was help to promote Yahoo and everything with the websites.
Yeah,
because that's when they fully launched it, and they really wanted to get into it.
Exactly. And then also too, you also had Starbucks for the very first time being introduced into it as well. But yeah, Brandy's right. They actually have they actually have shoes like the ones from the movie now. Yeah, they do. Let me tell you a funny story about that though. They actually had someone that would actually go underneath the DeLorean and everything, and what they would do is, since the technology wasn't there to tie the person's shoes automatically, there was a person underneath the car that would actually go ahead and tie that person's shoes, tie Marty's shoes.
That's funny.
That comes from the Movies That Made Us. That's how I knew about that. That's on Netflix for season 2, by the way, in case anybody's wondering. But
it's just funny. You just look at someone's resume, you just say the guy that's tied.
Sir, what did you do for a living? I tied Michael J. Fox's shoes on Back to the Future. You're hired. But yeah. Then we also have another thing though too with Toy Story with Mr. Potato Head.
Yeah, Mr.
as
Potato Head
well.
was a big product placement.
Yes, and get this,
But he was a
no,
fun product placement.
yeah, he was. But Mr. Potato Head rose to 800% and even more amazing sales of the Exy sketch too, which
Yeah.
increased 4,000%. Was the marketing intended?
Yeah.
It may have been introverted. We may want to know the answer, regardless. The Toy Story was PR paradise.
And I think there was some product placement in A Bug's Life too, if I recall.
I didn't know about Bug's Life.
I think so. I could be wrong, but I know there was a product placement in Ants.
You see, you're talking about things that I don't even remember. Here's the thing: I've seen A Bug's Life over 100 times as a kid, but I don't remember it now. And then Ants, I've saw maybe once because I just didn't really. It wasn't for me. But
Sylvester Stallone was a product placement.
that's true. He's his own product placement whenever you look at certain movies. There's also the.
I'm sorry, Arnold. I'm sorry, Sylvester Stallone.
What other ones do you remember? If you can remember any. If not, I'll help you jog your memory on some of them.
Oh boy, I guess I'm gonna guess the worst product placement I've seen was probably the 1990s Godzilla.
Oh, Taco Bell, Yo Quiero Taco Bell.
Taco Bell, the whole arena.
I don't remember that one. I just remember the Taco Bell commercial because of
the
the
sports
dog.
arena.
Yeah.
That's a big product placement right there.
Oh yeah, and Kodak. Kodak was also another one that they had as a sponsor, and everything too. So they actually had to incorporate Kodak in some type of way in a movie.
It's kind of funny that they would destroy their product placement.
Right. This worst camera ever. Godzilla stumps on it or something.
Oh, the military blows it up.
Yes. Brandy's right again with Demolition Man, with Taco
Demolition
Bell.
Man.
Yep.
But that was part of the story though, that product placement.
True, and actually amplified it, which makes it part of the best list.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing: if you're into a 2.5 hour long, spinning in circles with a camera, and if you love watching a 2.5 hour Super Bowl commercial, I recommend Transformers because that's exactly what you got.
That's all it is.
It's a 2.5 hour long product placement. You got CNN, you got Nike, you got Facebook, you have Tumblr, you have all these other, and Tumblr's in the other movie because that's The Last Night or whatever, which one I didn't even see. But
there was product placement in the last, I think they're in all Transformers movies.
Yeah, like for instance, CNN, like it's on this thumbnail right now, because every single big event that happens, CNN covers. It's like, forget about all the other networks. CNN is the place that you need to be, which I call the corner store network television for newscasters, basically.
Oh, I forgot. Terminator had product placement as well.
Okay, which one? Part 1 or part 2?
I think part 2.
Okay.
So they were in the game, at the arcade, and it showed a bunch of games in the background.
Yeah, Sega was one of them, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
I think so.
Which makes sense because I remember the Sega arcade game for Terminator. Remember that with the machine guns?
I just remembered something when I was thinking about the arcade.
Okay.
The Hulk Hogan movie.
Oh, Suburban Commando?
Commando,
okay, tell me about that one, because I remember certain things about Suburban Commando, but I forgot.
I just remember Hulk Hogan playing the arcade game with the fire pot.
Oh God!
It was like that was a big product placement right there for that Sega game. No, it wasn't a Sega game.
It was some type of Nintendo game or something.
Yeah, it was a Nintendo game because I remember I played that game before on Super Nintendo because it was an arcade game, but then they made it a console game.
Right. And then also, too, another funny thing that I have to laugh at and everything is, too, with the Transformers movie, they actually had a Mountain Dew machine out of nowhere that was hooked up to one of the stores on the outside where people walk, and that turned into a transformer. It was like Michael Bay decided that everything was going to be a transformer. He was like the Oprah Winfrey of Transformers, where you're going to be a transformer, you're going to be a transformer, and you're going to be a transformer.
Look under your seats.
That's a transformer too.
Oh man.
But another one that I want to mention is Little Nicky with Popeye's fried chicken.
Yeah.
He goes, Popeye's chicken is awesome.
That's not. Let's go with the rated R one. Popeye's chicken is a
good piece nice down your throat.
Big bucket of chicken. Just walking right behind him. There was a lot of product placement from Chicago.
I didn't know about that one.
You didn't realize that he was promoting Chicago?
Oh yeah, he sure was. Okay.
Chicago.
Yeah.
I command you in the name of Lucifer. Spread the blood of the innocent. Wow, Chicago kicked ass.
And then there was Jurassic World. As with that too, with Verizon Wireless presents the Indominus Rex. Which I don't understand. Why would a Verizon commercial advertise a man-eating dinosaur for your park?
Can you hear me now? It's in the stomach.
Right. This service is great. I can hear everything.
It's because of number 3, isn't it? Because Spinosaurus ate that phone. That's how I found.
Oh, let's see.
Oh, that was my brain. It's frying because of that now.
But you are right about the Transformers, though, too, with the GM cars and trucks is another thing that they did. iRobot also had it with the Audis and everything, which is also kind of similar. What I thought. Here's the thing: when I first saw the Audis, I thought it was actually Mercedes at first, because how similar in a sense that they kind of look alike. And my brother-in-law looked at me and goes, "That's an Audi." I'm like, "What's an Audi?" That was my first time knowing what an Audi was, because I never heard of it.
Captain Marvel was a big product placement, but it was but at the same time, it was just a product placement of the times. If you think about it.
Yep, it was in the 90s.
You can say it's nostalgic product placement.
Right.
I guess that's the way you can say it for Captain Marvel.
Right, because you have the nostalgia factor there.
Yeah.
Because you have blockbusters.
Ghostbusters was a product placement of a product placement.
It sure was, though, if you think about it. What did Ghostbusters have for a product placement?
Ghostbusters coffee mug.
Oh, okay, I feel like a dumbass now. Moving on.
And don't you forget Spaceballs.
Oh yeah, Spaceballs too. Also
merchandising.
But
Spaceballs is the flamethrower. Okay.
Nah, you're good, man. You're good. Seriously.
But those are fake product placements. Those are meant to make fun of product placements.
Right. And speaking of which, Wayne's World had probably the best one when it came down to making fun of product placements. And I like how Garth is over there leaned back in his chair in his hockey outfit. He goes, I just don't get product placement. You get paid for what you do. That's just being a sellout. And then I also liked how they go in with the Advil commercial, because it was so. I remember those commercials back in the 90s, right? Where this is when Wayne goes, I got a headache. And then Garth goes on ahead, gives him the Advil. He goes, oh, 2, yellow. Nice. and then also, too, another funny scene, though, was with Wayne eating the pizza from Pizza Hut. I like that whole entire bit worked for me. to be honest with you, about how they made fun of it.
Well, they were doing product placement, but they were having fun with the product placement. That's totally different than when my brain stopped because it was funny. I'm sorry, guys.
Yep, Wayne's World did have some placement from Pizza Hut, where, like I
Yep.
said before, with Wayne eating out of the Pizza Hut box, which you
Doritos.
see.
Don't forget the Doritos.
Yep, the Doritos one, there was, like I mentioned, and then of course the Reebok one that Garth had, and it was just about them not bowing down to the corporate managers of the studio, while the studio manager is explaining that to them about product placement.
Yes. And you see Wayne's World hat.
We don't bow down to no man. But another one though too is the internship with Vince Vaughn and Owen Wilson, where Google was actually the main plot and focus of the film, but they also used the Google logo.
Yeah,
and everything. Sure, and they actually used the actual Google company place to film.
Yeah, they did, didn't they? They so did. I think thinking of product placements, I was sitting there thinking of, you remember the old 80s cartoons? Those were product placement for the action figures and all that stuff. Like G.I. Joe.
Speaking of G.I. Joe, I remember Look Who's Talking 2, when Mikey's over there watching the TV. There's a G.I. Joe commercial.
Yeah, it was.
And he wanted a Cobra, some type of thing with Cobra. And John Travolta comes in and goes, I got something for you, Mikey. He goes, oh my God, is it the Cobra Cobra action figure or whatever? I forgot what it was. It was some type of machine that Cobra drove. But there was also the Pee Wee Herman placement, though, too, which was kind of creepy.
Yeah, that movie was a little bit disturbing when I was a kid.
I can imagine, dude. There was a scene with a toilet that actually talked and it was afraid to make you use the bathroom. Yeah. I would be afraid of that, too.
Well, it was like a teddy bear?
Yeah, the teddy bear came alive.
It is like something. Yeah, it was like some weird devil creature in a teddy bear.
Yeah, it was a devil creature, the devil action figure. I don't even know why the little kid had a devil action figure.
I didn't know. I was so disturbed by that when I was. I'm like, what the heck is that?
And the teddy bear comes alive with these big claws
and teeth, and I was like.
I'm like, okay, whoever directed this movie saw way too many Child's Play movies.
Bruce Willis, why are you in this movie?
But yeah, there are some great ones though. Like we mentioned, as far as Back to the Future goes, like Brandy mentioned. Yeah. There's also the Jerry Maguire commercial.
Yeah, just show me the money.
Yep. Where we have Cuba Gooding Jr., the football player, is doing a commercial. Oh. That was a good one. That was a product placement in a movie.
Huh? The Ace Ventura movies had product placement as well.
That's right. I completely forgot about that. There was also a UPS product placement in that one.
There was the bubblegum, the Dolphins.
Yep. There is a show now called The Goldbergs that advertise old. I love The Goldbergs, to be honest with you. Goldbergs is probably one of my favorite TV shows to watch from time to time. Because the youngest kid, Adam, reminds me of myself in a lot of ways. Because I'm just that kind of geeky nerd that likes to do certain off the balls kind of stuff. But yeah, Goldbergs is probably one of my favorite things. And matter of fact, I know that we're doing movies, but there was also Stranger Things also had in season 1, they had a product placement of Eggos.
Oh man, I haven't even seen Stranger Things yet.
You haven't? Man, you need to get on that, man, because season 1 is really good. Season 2, not so much, but season 3 is better than season 2.
Which you can watch on Netflix.
Yeah. This podcast is now presented to you by Netflix.
Watch what you can.
But yeah, I do recommend that if you ever get a chance to watch Stranger Things. That's actually a good show. But you have the character 11 that goes into a supermarket to get Egos. And she
Oh,
doesn't know that she has to pay for them, so she just goes on ahead, gets a whole bunch of boxes of Egos, and then next thing you know, there's people watching her. Then, of course, the manager's getting ready to run her out of the store, and of course, she runs off with all the Egos.
yes. That sounds fun.
So it's totally 80s nostalgia with the Egos, though, too.
Man, I remember. Do you remember the old Pops commercials? You gotta have your Pops.
Oh yeah, gotta have
Those
yeah. What's that called? Popcorn or something like that.
yeah,
Or
but it's called Pops for sure.
corn pops. That's it.
Yeah,
Corn
corn
pops.
Pops.
Yeah, gotta have my pops.
All those teenagers is like going insane because they don't.
Right. Because I remember that it's like you're gonna be late for school. I gotta have my pops.
You know,
Then there was also the
actually
Seth
good. I
Green
like-
commercial though too. Cha-ching. Do you remember that?
Cha-ching.
Yeah. Seth Green was actually in a commercial
Oh, he was.
back in the day, back in the 90s. He goes, "Yeah, I got a whole lot of cha-ching."
Oh, I know what you're talking about. This was
Checkers.
Like, it was like before he got set up for his movie career. It was
Right.
like it was like that came out. Then he was in American Pie. Then he just started going up from there.
Well, he wasn't in American Pie or anything. He was in
Yes,
Can't Hardly Wait.
Yeah, he was in American Pie.
No, he was in that movie Can't Hardly Wait. Seth Green was.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because he played this.
There was a redhead in American Pie.
Yeah, there was a redhead.
Oh no, I feel bad. Sorry, Seth Green.
It's okay. It's cool.
He just sitting there watching this video. He's like, that son of a.
How dare he do that? But yeah, pretty much
to get me.
Seth Green's character was actually named Kenny and Can't Hardly Wait, and his nickname was Special K.
Yeah.
Because I remember when he's hitting on this one girl at the party, and she goes, "I'm just going to sleep with anyone I could find. That's the next man that comes into my life. I'm going to sleep with them." Next thing you know, Kenny falls and trips over something, and then next thing you know, the girl looks down, and here's Kenny. Just tell what Special K want. Just tell Special K what you want. And then after he goes, "Look, just give me about 5 minutes. Just give me 5 minutes." He goes on ahead, goes upstairs, and then meanwhile the girl downstairs is like, "Well, he'll do." But Brandy says this: the Fast and the Furious movies has a lot of AutoZone.
I sure do. There's a lot of autos.
NOS.
There's a product placement from a movie that my mom always liked to watch. Back in the day, it was Where the Heart Is.
Yeah, I remember that movie.
It was a product placement for Walmart.
Oh God! And now look at you.
Stop it!
Your future has been
The baby was born.
predestined for you.
Hey, you want to get birth a baby? Go to Walmart.
I'm done.
Get you. You get 10% off.
See here. We also have a couple of more though too. There's the U.S. Navy and Top Gun that got used as a product placement.
And there was also probably the biggest product placement I could think of is Battleship.
Yep.
That is a very huge product placement right there.
Yeah, Toyo tires was
Toyo
a big one in APR performance. As much as I watched the Fast and the Furious movies, I never noticed all the product placements until you just mentioned that, Brandy.
Yeah.
With the Toyo tires, and then you also mentioned the APR performance. thing. All I remember was AutoZone. So you're doing better than I am when it comes to the product placement.
It's a good thing Aliens didn't have product placement.
Or did they? I'm just kidding.
The hamsters, I guess.
Right. Another oddball choice that they had was in World War Z with Brad Pitt. It was like out of all the stuff in the apocalypse that was working, don't get me wrong, I know the electricity was getting ready to go out and everything.
Yeah.
But, you know, there was this one Pepsi machine that was lit up. Brad Pitt goes on ahead, goes to it, takes the Pepsi out, drinks it, goes, ah. I'm like, yeah, this is product placement.
It's a good thing he didn't look at the camera and do this.
Right. But I could just see the zombies. Hold on. Wait, we're not going to attack Brad Pitt yet. We're not going to attack him yet. He's doing his product placement. Do not disturb him. Wait until he goes, ah. And then I can see, okay, now we can go on ahead and go after his family.
Actually, what would have been funny when Brad Pitt did that? And then the zombie attacked him and went, like, by him and go,
it goes from
that would have been funny.
That would. I want a spoof of that now. Okay. Oh God.
Pepsi. Live little.
Oh my God, I'm done with you. It's the sweet one, but no, that's Dr. Pepper. But another one is the BMW Mini Cooper and the Italian Job.
Yes.
This was what makes it look like it's fun to have a Mini Cooper, but you just don't want to add a lot of stuff to it, like gold, to weigh it down.
Yes.
But okay. I can imagine everyone owning a Mini Cooper during this time, because this is actually the dawn of Mini Coopers, to be honest with you.
Ooh, and there's a Mr. Deeds, too.
Okay, tell me about the Mr. Deeds one.
Adam Sandler had a Mr. Deeds one. It was a Hawaiian Punch. When he was drinking out of a water fountain, then Hawaiian Punch was just coming out.
Okay, I think I remember that. Yeah, okay.
And
sorry, go on.
It was a car commercial. It was a hot water commercial. No, it was what was it?
Now you got me wondering.
I'm trying to remember. It was some type of hot rod at the end of the movie.
Oh, I know what that is. Okay. It wasn't a hot rod. It was a Camaro.
Yeah, Camaro.
During that time, that was everybody's dream car was like a Camaro.
Yeah.
So the whole entire small town got a Camaro.
Yeah, everyone got a red Camaro. That's right.
Gremlins had a product placement.
Gremlins, yes.
Okay, do you remember anything about Gremlins? Okay, Coca-Cola Classic was actually in that.
There was You can say they were doing a product placement with Snow White.
Yep.
Because they were in the movie theater watching Snow White.
Yep, Disney product.
Yep. And then the second one, there was a lot of product placements, and the second one was a big product placement with cameos and everything. It was all over the place.
Right. It was just definitely all over the place with the second one.
Even though I do enjoy it at times, it's a guilty pleasure type of movie.
Yeah, I definitely agree, Brandy. Gremlins 2 was definitely on the suck it list or the suck list.
It was a guilty pleasure movie for me.
That's the only thing that was redeemable for that with me was the Rambo scene with Gizmo.
Gizmo with the Rambo.
Yeah.
Yes, that was.
Bush beer.
It was adorable. Bush beer.
Yeah. Yeah. But anyways, uh, okay. That needs to be a sound bite now before the show even starts.
Oh, I can't stand, I can't stand this anymore.
Hey, you want to be on?
I can't help it. I want to torture myself.
Thanks. I know my show is that bad.
I'm joking.
Kidding. I'm kidding.
Come on.
I'm joking. But also too, Reese's Pieces was actually an ET.
Yeah. Was it Reese's Pieces? Yes,
Yeah.
Reese's Pieces. Yes. Okay. I remember now.
And they actually spiked up their sales 65% within 2 weeks of the movie's release because of that product placement.
Yeah. I think it was a bicycle commercial too.
Yep.
With the bike.
Yep. I wouldn't be surprised if that bike wasn't a product placement because I could just see kids going, "Mommy, I want that bike because
Yeah,
I want to fly like Elliot."
I think that bike was a product placement, if I
Right.
recall, because I think if I remember correctly, there was a close up of the brand on that bike. If I remember,
I know that.
I think it was. I know there was. There has to be. What's going on? I'm in a different universe. What's going on?
Here's another one for you. Jurassic World had another one.
Yeah, there was. What was it?
Let's see here. It was actually
product placement.
Mercedes-Benz. It included models like the Sprinter, the G550, and the GLE Coupe. Samsung phones and tablets, which I have a Samsung tablet right here.
Oh man, don't you remember the product placement in Jumanji, the first one?
No, I don't. It's been, like I said, there's been some movies that I can remember and some that I can't. But what was the product?
It was a shoe.
Nike?
Yeah.
Or okay, yeah.
It was kind of. He was like the guy. He's like, "This is going to change everything." And he just.
This is going to change the game, man. I'm telling you right now. Now I remember. And then Alan winds up putting that shoe in the grinder of the
tangled up.
Right.
There was also other product placement in that movie too. There was I think it was the radio store or something like that. The monkey
Radio Shack.
Yeah.
Yep.
There was all kinds of stuff in that movie.
I want to say a Toys R Us was even part of that though too, if I'm not mistaken.
So.
Because I think that got ransacked by the animals and stuff like that. That got like let out on the loose and everything.
Man, it's kind of amazing. We sitting here trying to remember all this.
It is. I like going down memory lane though, to be honest.
Oh, don't forget Hook from
Hershey's chocolate milk was a big one.
Yeah, Robin Williams Hook has a product placement with a baseball and.
That's right.
And a bat.
Okay, this other one is kind of contradictory, but it's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Which one?
Part 1, the original one in the 90s. And it's because of the fact that, there is a Domino's pizza commercial. Well, Domino's pizza little ad thing that they do at the very beginning where the turtles are waiting on the pizza because it says, pizza guy has 10 minutes or else it's free. Well, anyways, if you watch the VHS tape, there's an ad for a Pizza Hut before the movie even starts. So I'm thinking to myself, after years of thinking about this, I'm like, that is very contradictory on which one you're trying to sell.
Can you imagine the owners of Domino's and Pizza Hut both watching the movie? And like, what the fuck?
I placed my ad before you did. Why is Pizza Hut doing this?
And Pizza Hut is like, why is Domino's?
What about Big? I don't. Do you remember anything?
I can't really recall anything big. I know there was a lot of toys in it, but I don't think it was anything to do with product placement because all that stuff was just made up.
Right. That's what I'm thinking. I don't know. I mean, yeah, there's the Cub stuff.
Coffee? I think the coffee was. Oh wait, George of the Jungle had a product placement.
Wait, okay, tell me about that one. It's been years since I've seen.
I think it was a. Yeah, it was a coffee commercial. And George like, George get coffee and also I want George. and George like coughed down all that gang coffee. So it's gone crazy.
Oh, another one that I want to talk about is Ray-Ban glasses on Risky Business and Top Gun. That was also another big product one.
Yeah, that was. Oh, don't forget Cowboys with John Travolta. His bench was a product placement.
That's true. There's also
he was showing off the Wranglers.
That's right. He did do that, didn't he? I forgot about that.
Kind of close up of his butt.
I didn't even.
Can you imagine John Travolta butt up against your face, that showing that product placement? All of the. You look at your face like, I'm feeling uncomfortable.
Right. It's like, I don't know. I don't really want to look.
I don't want to look at the product placement. I can't look away.
Oh, the original Jurassic Park had one.
Yeah.
Barbasol.
Yeah.
I remember the Barbasol.
The shaving cream.
Shaving cream, because I remember my friends and we would have like fights with the shaving cream. Like we would just go on and spray each other with the shaving cream.
Well, it's not only that, but there was a lot of product placement with Don Jochi's office desk.
Yep. Brandy says a license to drive, but the sunglasses. Yep, license to drive is another one.
Yes. Yeah, there was like a lot of product placement on his office desk and everything, because Samuel Jackson's like, look at this place, it's a complete slop.
I got another one for you. The Matrix had one.
I'm trying to remember this one. Was that one?
Yeah, Nokia.
Oh yes, that's right.
Because Nokia was actually introducing one of the first web surfing phones at that time. It was the Nokia 7110 phone, which was used as a portal through which Keanu Reeves entered the digital world of the Matrix.
Yeah, there was a phone commercial, there was a car commercial, because you know that big chase scene and everything that was showing off those vehicles and everything.
Right.
I'm just trying to go by memory because all these movies I haven't seen in decades.
You're the one who's making me. I'm having a hard time too. I'm having the struggle as well because you remember certain ones that I don't remember. So you're doing a little bit better than I am on some of it.
Oh, we're just having an hour video. People just watching us struggle. I'm getting a vein pop into my head, and we're both turning red in the face, like what?
Right. Starbucks and Fight Club. Yep, I remember that.
Club. Ooh, the biggest. Oh, I remember now. Ready to Rumble. That was a big product placement right there.
For WCW or just that was the biggest one because that's where the plot actually centered around was WCW whenever it was trying to compete with Vince McMahon at the time.
Yes, and that was the biggest product placement I have ever seen. Next.
But it worked though. I guarantee you, some people probably decided to check that out though. To be honest with you.
Yeah.
Yep. The cologne.
If anyone haven't seen Ready to Rumble, it's a pretty good movie. You ought to give it a try. Just taste it, okay? Just take your tongue out and just lick it.
and taste it. Taste the
and
flavor.
taste it. Taste the rainbow. Taste Sting. You might taste a little bit of Goldberg in there.
Oh my god! But I definitely like Ready to Rumble. To be honest with you, that's actually one of my favorite wrestling movies. I watch it every single time it's on DirecTV and everything. It's a little dated because of the fact that there are certain things that people probably won't laugh at now because the sensitivity is so high.
Yeah.
Because of it, sadly. But it's one of those movies I watch and I have a good time watching.
Yeah, yeah, that was a big product placement. I remember I was a big WCW fan when I was a kid.
I remember WCW. I was flipping back and forth between the Nitro Girls and then going over to WWE at that time. But The Shining also had a good product placement that was with it too, with Jack Nicholson.
Yeah, it did, didn't it?
Yeah, Heinz ketchup was in the kitchen area when his wife Wendy hits him.
Here's a good product placement. Don't you remember Big Daddy with Adam Sandler?
McDonald's.
It wasn't just McDonald's, but it was Hooters.
Yeah. Yeah, stay out of the frozen food section. Your boobs might harden.
Hooters.
Hooters. Then there was the McDonald's. He goes, nice parenting. Yeah, I know, right? Then he takes the guy's french fries, like, now take a walk.
That had a lot of stuff in that one.
Oh yeah, Barney's was also another one that they did too on that movie. Remember when he goes, I'm gonna take you to Barney's. Barney? No, a different Barney, a very expensive Barney.
Oh man. I can't believe I just remember that.
The original Willy Wonka had a bunch. Yep. The Gobbletroppers and stuff like that.
And I remember when they started, showing those Willy Wonka commercials like out of nowhere, like in the early 2000s and so on. The Wonkas nerds, the Wonkas this, Wonkas that.
Yep, I remember that. Forrest Gump.
Forrest Gump is
Gump
shrimp.
Well, he had Nike.
Well, it wasn't just Nike. There was Dr. Pepper.
Yeah. I don't remember how many Dr. Peppers I had.
I need to go pee.
I need to go pee. There's also the Men in Black one with the aliens wheeling in them a little small Marlboro cigarettes.
It was a cigarette and a coffee.
Yep. The DNA is a succession of M&Ms and that's also a product placement in Mission to Mars back in 2000, where they're talking about M&Ms and using it as DNA.
I'm trying to remember that. That was a long, long time ago.
In a galaxy far, far away, 20 years ago.
Georgia Beans is a product placement.
Oh my god, Miss, I got beans. Nah, I don't like Jar Jar.
Yeah, you remember that old fan theory that he was a Sith Lord the whole time?
Oh yeah, I remember that.
I mean, I can understand where that's coming from, and perhaps it was true at one point, but
yeah, it was canon at one time.
Yes,
but now they're not even going after the canon stuff anymore.
Yeah, it's kind of sad. But moving on.
But also too, though, if they're going to incorporate that, you have to go with the most ridiculous and stupid kill in a Star Wars canon, which was Chewie getting killed by a moon.
Chewie getting killed by a moon. That's a good times.
Yep. So I'm glad it's not canon.
Just like the Christmas special.
We're not going to talk about that. So let's see.
Too bad we go into this as a product placement now. Okay.
But
Christmas special is a product placement.
Another one is The Pursuit of Happiness.
Which
The Rubik's
brings us back to the holiday special of Star Wars.
Oh my god! But
I'm okay. I'm done.
no, you're good, man. You're good. But there's also the Rubik's Cube from Pursuit of Happiness. That's also another one.
Yes. Yeah,
Which
that
was a
Rubik's
game back in
Cube.
the 80s.
Yeah, Rubik's Cube was in a lot of probably one of the biggest product placement in almost a lot of movies back in the day. Because always
Definitely.
want to show that one character how smart he is all the time.
Right.
You would see that Rubik's Cube and cartoons, movies, TV shows, everywhere. That is probably I'd probably say the Rubik's Cube is probably one of the biggest one of them all.
Yeah, it
Besides
was the most
Slinky.
popular one back in the 80s.
Yeah. Do you remember the Slinky bit
Oh yeah.
Ace Ventura?
Oh yeah, when nature calls, a slinky, slinky. Go, Slinky, go. Then all of a sudden it gets down to the last time. It was almost there.
there was even a Subway sign in.
Yep.
Yeah, there was a Subway sign in there.
Yeah, there was a Subway commercial because remember, this is back when Jim Carrey flips the Jeep.
Yes.
And it's flipping the Jeep. And as it's flipping, he just flips it all the way to Subway.
I can't help it.
It's okay. I like that one too. That part, yeah. God.
I never understand that when I was a kid until I got older. I was like, ugh.
Right? It's all the stuff that we go over our heads. We're just thinking that he's just doing funny puppet stuff without knowing the context behind it. Then as soon as you know the context, it's like, ooh, I laughed at that.
There was a product placement in the Dumb and Dumber. I remember that.
I don't.
It was like eating jerky and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, beef jerky was actually a big thing.
Yes. Uh-huh.
In the Dark Knight to 2008 one with Christian Bale, the Batmobile is the Lamborghini, which Marsala Joe. I can't. I'm butchering the heck out of this, which means bat in Spanish.
Don't forget about that pencil commercial that the Joker did.
Which one?
The pencil commercial.
I don't remember that one.
How about a magic trick?
Oh yeah.
Pencil disappear.
Ta-da! And then there's also the Batman Returns McDonald's placement.
There was a McDonald's placement.
Remember that one?
Yes.
Where Michael Keaton is going through the drive-through at McDonald's.
And
I was like,
it wasn't Michael Keaton. It was
No. It was Michael Keaton. I think I remember that.
It was from Batman and Batman Forever.
Hold on. It was Batman.
Because he was the one saying, "I get drive-through."
Okay. I thought it was. For some reason it was.
Oh man, what was his name?
Val Kilmer.
Yeah, Val Kilmer. Oh man, I feel bad now. But yeah, it was Val Kilmer. I would not do good in Hollywood. I'd be like talking to guys like, "Who are you again?"
Yeah, but they did have a Batman Returns McDonald's Happy Meal commercial. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, but in the movie wise, I think there was a. Oh man, the Bat credit card.
Oh no! We're not gonna mention George Clooney.
You know what happened? There was product placements in that one like crazy.
You know, before we run out of time, I do want to go on ahead and talk about the Truman Show finally. When it comes down to product placement in the Truman Show, because there is product placement. I just forgot about it. My friend Rick is the one who brought it to my attention, and you can follow Rick on his Facebook page at Jokers Unleashed.
All right.
At the Joker Unleashed on Facebook. And him and I are admins together. We post from time to time with Joker fan art, just Joker memes and stuff like that from time to time. But I'm actually known as Johnny Frost on there. But still. But yeah, there's a scene where Meryl and Truman have a quarrel that includes an exchange, an exaggerated product placement. The product placement has become very popular, but we tend to not notice it. In the scene, she completely leaves the topic while talking with Truman and suddenly begins to advertise a brand of cocoa and trying to sell the product to her husband. She is holding up a package of cocoa and the camera angle is slipping into advertising mode and she's saying, "Why don't you let me fix you some of this mocha drink? All natural cocoa beans from the upper slopes of Mountain Nakakoga. No artificial sweeteners."
I haven't seen that movie in years.
Me either. Um,
But
then
yeah,
there's some there's also one with a knife. Defend herself using a knife set.
yeah, the Truman Show is showing was supposed to show how bad things gone to the point that the only people that was entertained was someone's life.
Right. And also, too, this was actually on the verge of reality TV when reality TV was about to start up. If it wasn't for, as a matter of fact, speaking of Ed TV with Matthew McConaughey,
Yes,
that was also a product placement with Energizer Bunny on the front of the bus. But if it wasn't for the Truman Show or for Ed TV, there wouldn't be any reality TV, basically. Because that's the brink of what they were trying to do with something different. Although we had one reality show on MTV that was ahead of its time, which was The Real World.
yeah, I remember the Real World.
It wasn't so real.
I thought.
I watched a little bit of The Real World and everything. I did enjoy a couple of episodes from The Real World.
I mean, I do things all the time. I don't see commercials pop up that make me stop what I'm doing.
There's also the product placement in Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Yes, it was.
Which was Cheerios.
Yeah, Cheerios. Yes. It wasn't just Cheerios. There was other things too. There was what was it? Trying to remember, but my brain is not want to work for me today.
It's okay.
It was a sweets, some type of sweet food. It was something that the ant was munching on.
Yeah, that was the Cheerios.
Yeah, it wasn't Cheerios.
Was it?
It was like a cookie or something.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. The little Debbie snacks, the little cream pies.
Yeah.
Okay, I know what you're talking about now. Yeah, okay. I remember that. Okay.
So good that even ants will eat it.
My God. Kill Bill had.
Oh, ants.
Kill Bill also had another one.
Your pet ant will protect you from giant scorpions that will eat you alive.
There's also the Adidas shoes in Kill Bill.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. There's also, let's see here, The Devil Wears Prada. There was I
never seen that one, so I can't really confirm.
Yeah, it's just basically just the shoe company itself, I believe. Then there's Gran Torino.
Yeah, Gran
Car
Torino
is the title of the movie.
Yes. I think almost every movie has a product placement. Almost every TV show has one. You just can't really notice it at times.
Exactly, unless it's like very on the nose.
Or just there within a few seconds.
Right. Like I said, if a film is hitting us with nothing but product placement and trying to ignore the plot, then you know that you have a bad movie. If you're trying to distract us by saying, "Oh, this is the character from this movie. Oh, do you remember this movie? Well, guess what? He's now in this movie." And it just goes on, and
Yes.
here's the thing. I don't want to just go on ahead. It's just like taking out a highlight book and trying to pick out which characters you want to see, or looking for Where's Waldo as
Yeah.
well. Which is a better example.
The good example is you can use a Space Jam and Space Jam 2.
Well, Space Jam the very first Space Jam made sense to me, but
yes,
go ahead.
Because Space Jam 1 knows what it was. It was an advertisement, but it was advertisement that decided to become a movie. So it knows what it wanted to be. But when number 2 came along, they pretty much just said, let's put every single advertisement, product placement as much as we can. And then they just throwed it all in there. And it's just very distracting.
Yeah, it was very distracting, to be honest with you.
With Space Jam 1, it was just maybe 2 or 3 product placement in there. Well, make that fall because Piggy Wiggly's was it too.
But here's the thing, though. I mean, with Space Jam 2, it didn't do anything to motivate the plot. There was nothing there, and they knew that there was nothing there. They spoiled it in the trailer.
I can only make it through within maybe 30 minutes in that movie, and I had to stop. It was just
Charlie and I made it through the whole entire movie because we reviewed it. But
yeah,
would I watch it again? No.
I just couldn't go through with it. I'm just like, nah.
Same.
It's not for me.
But let's see. There's also the Trick cereal and the sequel to Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Yes.
Which is Honey, I Blew Up the Kids.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't.
What was it?
It was let's see. It was Honey. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, and the Honey, We Shrunk Ourselves. And it was Honey, I Blow Up the Kid.
Yeah, Honey, I Blew Up the Kid was the second one, I believe, and then Honey, I Shrunk Ourselves. The third one was the Tricks one, right? Or
I guess so, because if it's the Blow Up the Kid, it'd be the third one.
No, the Blew Up. I'm telling you, I think that the Blew Up the Kid was the sequel, I think, and then the Honey, I Blew Up Ourselves was a direct to VHS tape. I remember that. I just remember.
I don't recall that one. Only movies I can remember was Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, Honey, I Shrunk Ourselves, and then it was Honey, I Blew Up the Kid. Because they didn't have the baby boy yet.
No, they didn't.
It wasn't born.
Right. Yeah, as a matter of fact, it was Honey, I Blew Up the Kid was the sequel. And then it was Honey, We Shrunk Ourselves.
That can't be right.
That's the way I'm reading.
That came out because that came out in I was just about to graduate from junior high.
Let me make sure. Wait, let me see real quick. What year?
I'm looking it up too.
I'm
gonna make sure you're not gonna lie to me.
1992, July 17th of 1992. Yep. Do you remember that year, or because Honey, I Shrunk the Kid came? Let's see, came out in 97. Honey, We Shrunk Ourselves came out in 97. So that would put.
I guess you're right. That's weird.
You saw the third one before.
I am so confused now.
In the words of Charlie, it said these two timelines are too confusing in the world of Deadpool 2, though, too. But
I am so conflicted with myself now.
It's okay, man. It's okay. It happens.
No, this is weird because I remember seeing Honey, I Shrunk Ourselves one, and then I'd seen Honey, We Shrunk.
Honey, I Blew Up the Kid. But you saw that one last, right?
I guess so.
But yeah, I remember.
I'm in a completely different universe now. I'm dead.
But yeah, I remember going to the movie theaters to see Honey, I Blew Up the Kid.
Holy cow! What is happening with me now? Okay.
It's okay. It's
who am I?
What year is it?
Who are you? Get out of
But anyways, I think that's gonna do it as far as this show goes and stuff like that. I just want to thank you, man, for wanting to come on the show to talk about the best and worst product placement and movies. This was fun, though. This was fun going down memory lane.
It really was fun. I'm learning new things about myself now. I got a lot of self reflection to do after this.
Because I could just see you rocking back and forth.
I'm just gonna be like up out in the field, just laying down, looking at the stars. It's just like, just.
But yeah, man. But my question is this: where can everybody reach you at and follow you if they want to follow you?
Yes, you can follow my work at www.severecomics.com. You can read all my comics for $6 a year, and you can also follow me on Severe Comics on Facebook, and I have my own YouTube channel called Severe Comics, which I'm about to put out a lot of new stuff out there pretty soon. Right now, I'm working on a new project that will be on there.
All right. So with that being said, guys, go on ahead, follow Quentin Bennett at Severe Comics and everything, and sign up for his stuff. His stuff is really good. I've read a couple of his things that he has out there. Go on and check him out. Give him a like, give him a follow, all that other good stuff. Another thing, too, is go on ahead. Tamara and I teamed up with Cincy and also St. Jude's Hospital to donate money towards kids that have cancer and things like that. So all the proceeds go to St. Jude's Hospital. Go on ahead, click the link below for that. Another thing too is go on and follow me at Movie Lovers TV Loves Unite on Facebook. And then of course you guys can go on ahead and get an audio only podcast where you guys get your podcast from. Also too, rate us on Good Pods. Good Pods is a great place if you're into podcasting or if you're a podcast or if you just like listening to podcasts. Go on ahead, check out Good Pods. They're not hiring me to advertise for them, but it is an easy to use app to use. And get this, you can actually rate each individual episode, tell us what you think about the episode and stuff like that. And it helps us out with the rankings. And speaking of the rankings, we are actually still #1 from last week. So we're #1 on our podcast and everything. I do appreciate that, Quentin. Then, of course, guys, tomorrow night, 8 o'clock Central Time, 9 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Pacific Time, I'm going to have a guest with me, and we're going to be reviewing 16 Candles, the old classic John Hughes movie. So go ahead, join us for that. And it's going to be Beth. Beth's going to be joining me. She has a podcast of her own, but you guys are going to have to tune in to find out what the name of her podcast is. That's going to be the catch. So go on ahead, check her out. Whenever she comes on the show tomorrow night. Another thing too is if you guys want to follow me, go ahead and follow me at Movie Lovers Unit on Twitter, or you can follow me underneath Movie Lovers Unit on Stereo. We do some shows on Stereo from the time to time. As a matter of fact, I did one with Mike Perkins last night. He started up his own podcast, and it's called. Matter of fact, he actually has his own podcast and everything. So go on and check that out. You can actually find that episode on YouTube right now, and also on the audio podcast as well. And it's also called the Mike Perkins Project. That's the name of his podcast. And also, too, if you're a sponsor and would like to reach out to us, go on and do that by emailing me at movieloversunite@gmail.com. And that's everywhere that you guys can go in and follow me at. Also, too, for all your entertainment needs and wants, just head over to Movie Lovers Unite at movieloversunite.com. And that's everywhere you can follow me at. Always until next time, thank you, Quentin, for being on the show. I do appreciate that, man, for taking the time out of your night. Thanks. And always until next time, guys, it's been real. It's been fun. I can't wait to do this again. And bye-bye.
See ya.